watching. All my just front like they patching. You already know. Popping. Ain't no stopping me now, steady rocking. Watch them hate on me now cause I'm locked in. Watch the hate on me now cause I'm popping. I ain't stopping.
And the New York Giants are the Super Bowl champs.
What's going on, sports fans, Giants fans, NFL fans? Welcome back to another episode of GNATION Inside Sports at the Big Blue Lounge. I got my co-host, Classified 3F Joe, with me as always, and we have one of the members of the Giants Goofballs podcast, my boy Drew, joining us tonight. What's going on, Drew?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. So as everybody knows, there's a big buzz. Some people saying they're at a stalemate with Saquon Barkley in negotiations, and some articles coming out that they were working on a deal as yesterday. So it's a lot of misleading information out there. Wanted to know what your take was on it.
So I think it's safe to say that everybody wants to give an opinion just to have an opinion at this point. Let's be honest, we don't know what's going on. There's a lot of behind closed doors. The Giants have kept everything close to chest. Saquon and his camp have kept everything pretty close as well. So I think it's safe to say we have not a clue in the world what's going to happen. I think if a deal happens, it's going to probably be at Monday, right before the deadline. And if it doesn't, I think the Giants are perfectly content with paying this guy the tag money and calling it a day.
Yeah, I think that's if they can't come to a conclusion by Monday, I think that's pretty much where it's at, actually. What's going on, Pat?
What's up, y'all?
What's up, Book Hands? Bobby
Hey,
Powell.
where is he? Laying in his bed?
No, his screen is messed up on the camera.
Okay.
Mr. Saquon Barkley. You know what I think the deal was offered? I think it's 3 years, $39.5 million, 19.5 guaranteed. It was offered to him. And I'll be honest with you, that's a hell of a deal for a running back right now. It's not
third or fourth highest in the guaranteed money right now.
Yeah, nobody's gonna come even nowhere close to what Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey got as far as money when it comes to running backs. So it's not about a disrespect for
a year for 3 years.
Huh?
What'd you say? 39?
39.5 over 3 years, 19.5 guaranteed. And the reason why that deal right there is double the amount the market says for top running backs, and yearly, and quadruple the amount of money of guaranteed for top running backs in the market right now. So it's not about them disrespecting Saquon Barkley. It's about business.
What up, D-Dan Shelton? No, nobody said nothing about disrespect. I said it's a lot of reports coming out. Some saying that they was working on a deal yesterday. Some saying that they're at a stalemate, that there is no deal. So it's a lot of misleading information out there. And I just wanted to.
No, I'm not saying that. You guys
get a feel for what the people out, the fans are thinking, and what other podcasts and content creators are thinking. Just, see what's on everybody's mind. Do you think that he's gonna be a Giant, or do you think that this will be a one and done franchise year and that's it?
I'll be honest with you. If he doesn't accept that deal that they've probably offered, I could it's just something in my mind telling me that they offered that man 3 years, 39.5, 19.5 guaranteed. I think that's the deal that they offered him, and that deal is on the table. And that's only because they love the guy. They want him to be here. Because no running back, I'm telling you, no running back is going to come close to a contract like that on the open market. Not one. I'm telling, because the money is dried up for running backs. That's the position the NFL has chosen to dry up the money on, to pay these left tackles, these offensive linemen, these edge rushers, these cornerbacks, and these quarterbacks. All that new money is going towards them. These quarterbacks are going to take a major percentage of that new money. Because people like Herbert or Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, when he comes back up, and Patrick Mahomes, he's due for another contract. they're going to be close to down that $55 to $60 million per year. So you really think they want to pay running backs $20 million per year when receivers are getting $30 to $31 million a year? Defensive tackles are getting $24 to $25 million a year. Edge rushers are going to be getting close to $30 million a year now. When the new edge rush, you think Joey Bosa's contract is not going to be close to $30 million a year? Or Nick Bosa? I'm sorry, not Joey, but Nick Bosa. On the 49ers, you out your mind. And so somebody has to pay. And guess what it is? The running back position. Because the money that was given to running backs before Saquon Barkley, when you look at them, Ty Gurley, the boy from Pittsburgh,
Le'Veon
that
Bell.
held out of Le'Veon Bell, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara. The only ones that actually lived up to the money that they got, Ezekiel Elliott is another one.
Yep.
It's Nick Chubb and Henry, and their contracts are exactly what Saquon Barkley's contract is going to be around.
Judo, my brother from another mother. Thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, massive salute and respect to Array, the G Nation, Big Blue Crew, Boricua, and Blitz Squad, Joe, Pat, Bookends, and all diehard Giants fans in the building. Forget about it. Bookends said the linebackers too. I'm sure that there's some incentives to increase that guarantee. Crowd favorite in the building. What's up?
You got to think about it. Nick Chubb just signed a deal like a year or two ago for $12 million, and that dude's been producing like an animal.
Well, let's look also at what Miles Sanders got. That's a top running back contract signed this offseason. That's 4 years, $25.5 million. And only $13 million was guaranteed.
Thank you.
Giants have done right by Barkley. To be honest, I think the only ones who haven't done right by Barkley, to be very frank, is, and I hate to say it this way, the fans. You can't blame the man for trying to get all the money he can. All of us would in his position at that point. Let's say hypothetically this man signs a 3-year contract and he makes it through that contract. When he's done with that contract, he's 29 years old. No one's paying him at 29. This is his last chance to get an NFL payday. And none of us should begrudge the man to try to get as much money as he can, because any of us would do the same exact thing in that position and should.
Yeah, that's very true.
But
The life expectancy of a running back is very short. Their knees can't take all of that for very long.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's essential for them to get paid early. And by him having to play 5 years of his rookie contract because of the regime changes and the mishandling from the organization standpoint, unfortunately, he came in at the worst possible time, and now we're at where we're at. Because had he come in while we had stable head coach and stable this, after his first 3 years, then he came to a contract.
Keep in mind, though, he did because of where he was drafted, though. His first deal was 4 years, about $32 million.
All
so guaranteed. Made some money.
Fully guaranteed.
He's made money already. Don't worry about that part.
Oh, yeah, I know that because he was picked second overall. Yeah,
exactly.
He had top-notch bread.
But I'm seeing a repeat. I'm seeing a repeat of what happened with Daniel Jones, where people are ticked at Daniel Jones for trying to get all the money he can, and now it's happening with Barkley. Let them get their money and let the Giants figure that out. In the end, they're not going to overpay the hell out of them. But again, we can't begrudge somebody. When I go to my boss and work out negotiations for money and how much I'm going to get paid at my job, I don't go, oh, well, I guess just pay me whatever you think is fair. I said, give me all your damn money. Give me every freaking penny you can. And you know what I know I'm done is when he tells me no.
You know what it is? It's the guaranteed money. And nobody wants to give a running back top guaranteed money like 26 or 27 mil or however the reports is. I think he's wanting at least 24 to 25. And I think the Giants are not willing to do that for a running back who's had an injury history. Let's be real with it. He's had an injury history. And if you tie that much guaranteed money into this man and he goes back to getting hurt again, then what?
But those 2 years, hypothetically, you tag him 2 years back to back is what, $22.5 million, I think it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're only talking about a couple million that third year if you had to cut him hypothetically there.
And that's how I know. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, as I say, I just don't see a scenario where we don't give him a second year. Even if he gets hurt hypothetically this year, something bad happens like that, unless he tears his ACL again or something, they're going to give him a second year at the very least.
And that's how I know that it's the guaranteed money. I truly believe they're like,
guaranteed money is less now than it was under his rookie contract, so he's feeling salty.
and they're saying, look, you have an injury history. We love you. But if we give you 26 to 27 mil guaranteed and you get hurt, then what? That's how I know they're not going budge off that 19.5. They may some miracle if they like, look, we just want you here. We'll give you 22 million guaranteed out of that contract. That's going to be the absolute best that he gets because that's like the second franchise tag. I think that's their highest mark that they'll go. And I think Saquon Barkley wants more than what the 2 years and a franchise tag will get him in guaranteed money. And I think that's where the impasse is. I don't think Joe Shane's budging. I just don't think he is. And let's not act like, and then I can't stand the fans that always want to bring up Daniel Jones. Let's not act like Daniel Jones, they gave Daniel Jones the world. No, his contract was just like Derek Carr's contract, which was the market for what he was, for what he is at the point in time. He's a quarterback that has a little arrow going up right now. So that's why they gave him the deal that they gave him. Now, on the flip hand, they're very smart. They was like, hey, look, you ball out, you'll get these incentives and you'll be paid like a top 6 quarterback if you ball out, which is still going to be a discount because when those new contracts come up, that shit going to get blown out the water.
What's up, Miz? So, what's up, Daniel Berry? Hold on, Pat. Go ahead.
So let's not act like they gave Daniel Jones #1 quarterback money in the league. That's so stupid. They've gave even fucking Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence could have held out and say, hey, look, give me money right under Aaron Donald. Give me $30 million a year. He didn't do that because he wanted to be here. And they gave him a very fair contract right underneath Quentin Williams. Because Quentin Williams waited till Dexter Lawrence signed so he could get a little bit more than what Dexter Lawrence got.
Chris D, they should keep him on the tag, especially this season when we're going up against the top Ds in the league. If he's going to get injured, it'll be this season for sure. King Blue, how's everybody doing? Daniel Berry, what's going on? Miz, what's going on, Miz? He says he wants 4 years, 3 guaranteed.
I truly believe this guaranteed money. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Big Boss Lou should represent Barkley. He know how to get the money. He's very good at everything, especially too. Thank you, Tudo. That boy crazy. Yo, Pat, dead on. Mans agrees with you, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love Saquon Barkley on this team, pause. It's gotta be good for both sides. They can't just bend over and give him whatever he wants. When the market says, hey, look, the contract that we're giving you is at the very least double of what anybody else is gonna get. Mm-hmm. Because if anybody else was willing to give him that guaranteed money, Barkley would not be a New York Giant right now. He would have got traded during the draft.
Right. Big Blue Doja in the building. Bookend says they gave DJ top 10 money. They're offering Barkley top 5 running back money. You can't compare. That is 2 different things.
Yeah, it's top 3.
G family, what's good? Hope all is well with the Muff Krew. What's going on, Big Blue Doja? Alex, Big Blue in the Bronx says, yeah. What's going on, Alex?
And let's be honest about the shit here too. We have 2 leaders of this organization that came from the Bills, and Brian Daboll, the head coach, and Joe Shane as the GM.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give a fuck about running backs over there. They drafted running backs and ran running back.
You're killing me. It ain't even been 30 minutes.
Well, they didn't give nothing about running backs over there with the Bills. because they kept drafting running backs. They could have easily drafted a running back in the first round or traded for a running back, but they were never willing to give up a first round pick for a top running back, and they were never willing to draft a running back in the first round. So that's how they got Cook, Dalvin Cook's brother, who's Dalvin Cook is on the free agent market. Do you see anybody giving him major money? He's been productive with the Vikings. Nobody's giving him money.
Bills have never. I can't say that you can sit there and say they've been handed a running back like that too. That's the difference, is that Joe Shane and Brian Dable inherited him, and we don't know what they would do in that scenario because they didn't have that in Buffalo. You know, you're right. They didn't sign one, they didn't draft one, but they also weren't handed one to start with.
Right.
So that's where that's a little bit of unknown in that regard. You know, they may not have valued the position enough to go out and get one with the first round pick or to pay a top dollar for a free agent one. But in this situation here, they were point blank handed it. Here you go, deal. You know?
And I could tell that they wanted him because he was the first guy that offered money. Out of all the guys that had money to come up to get money, and Andrew Thomas, Daniel Jones, Big Dex, Xavier McKinney.
They offered him a deal first in the bye week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they offered him a deal first, so they want him here. That's the only reason why they ain't offering him a $8 or $9 million deal right now. That's the only reason why they franchise tag.
It says, I believe by Monday they agree on the contract. Doja. Chris D says they playing a game of chicken.
Not wrong.
Tudo, salute my guy. Raphael in the building. What's going on, Raph? Alex, you're creating great Giants content, Paisano.
And keeping another buck with you guys, the whole Daniel Jones thing, you want to know why they were pressuring the Daniel Jones thing? Because a quarterback is way harder to get than a running back. 10 times harder. I don't care how you feel about Saquon Barkley.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You got to be
100%.
logical. The quarterback is the captain of the team, not the wide receiver, not the running back. No, it's the quarterback. He's the driver of the bus.
Right. If it came down to Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, guess who's going to get the money? Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
They're going to give it to him.
You know,
they're not. If it came down to T. Higgins, guess what? T. Higgins will get traded.
You know, you brought up an interesting point, though, a minute ago. You talked about the contract that Saquon was offered midseason. If you think about it, the ones they went to was Saquon and Julian Love. And in both cases, they really didn't budge over the numbers that they gave them and that midseason offers. So I think it's kind of interesting. I hope the Giants, you know, the active players we still have that may be coming up to that situation in the next year or two, take notice that the Giants didn't really budge on these guys. They said, here's your offer. Let us know what you think. And they didn't budge from there.
I truly believe that these guys are looking at the team and not just certain players.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you look at just certain players, you're setting yourself up for failure.
I think they have a set number is what it is too. Like they're going to, here's what we think is a fair value. Let us know if you agree. And that's kind of like their outset. It's a very business-minded thing. And if you listen to a lot of the stuff that's come out recently, you know, as we talk about Daniel Jones before and all, you know, they've been saying now that John Mara supposedly called up Daniel Jones,
Listen,
you know, right at the deadline and basically said, what does it take to get this done?
It's America, sir. We don't negotiate with terrorists. Make a deal. You either adhere to it or you don't. This is the number, and that's it. And that's, you know, that's a shrewd businessman, but you know, those are the ones that get ahead. They're the ones that are productive. So, you know, I have 3 Barkley jerseys. Everybody knows I'm a big Barkley fan, but I'm a Giants fan first. And I'm not going to stop being a Giants fan if Barkley's gone. That sucks to say it, but I'm going to be a Giants fan. You know what I mean? So I hope he gets on board and gets his head out his ass, pause, and signs the damn deal. I hope they come to an agreement. But D-Dan Shelton says, I think they realize Saquon isn't the type of back that can get 30 to 35 carries a game and be productive, but he wants to get paid as such. They're offering this much as a sign of respect.
It
don't think
is.
he needs to have that many carries though either. I think he's a different type of back. He's not the go right down the middle and in the fourth quarter is when he get his yards. He's not that kind of back. You can give him 20 rushes and give him, another 5 receptions that he can go ahead and still kill the opposing team. That's just the kind of player he is.
I'm a speak on what you said too about the John Mara aspect, because a lot of people they want to find ways to bash the Giants in some type of way. The silly fans, oh, John Mara stepped in and got Daniel Jones that money. The only thing, if John Mara did anything with the Daniel Jones deal, it was the incentives.
Was probably, yeah.
So when they came to the table, Joe Shane and them was at a number. It was probably around 40 million, like he got, and they was like, you know what? We love you. We know what you can do for this team. We're gonna put some people around you. So instead of giving you $45 to $46 million a year, let's do the incentives to where if you do ball out, you'll get 48 to like $49 million a year. And Daniel Jones is like, you know what? I was against the wall last year. I'll do it again for you. Give me my incentives and we'll be good, because that's more than what I was actually asking for. I was asking for 44, but now if I ball out and get these incentives, I'll make about $45 million extra than what I really wanted. And I think that's what made the deal go through. Because let's be honest, they lose Daniel Jones, it's going to be hectic.
Oh, yeah.
Because none of those quarterbacks this year were top notch, and we had a bottom pick.
Yep.
And what Daniel Jones did last year was pretty doggone good considering the circumstances. They were like, hey, look, we get the people we really want to get in here and run the offense we really want to run. We think this kid can really do something for us. So, yeah, let's give him some incentives. And those incentives will be covered by the money that we're going to get every year from the TV deal. So that'll be cool. But the running back position, Miz just mentioned how many Super Bowls the Bills have won. How many Super Bowls have teams won with a dominant running back? It hasn't been like that in years.
Let's say not the last quarter of a century.
Yeah. The last team I could really think about that did it like that was the Ravens. When they had Jamal Lewis on that team? No, I don't even think Jamal Lewis was on that team when they won that. And it was really the defense. It wasn't a running back. It was really the defense.
I mean, Seahawks?
Maybe the Seahawks, but Russell Wilson had a lot to do with that too.
Oh, yeah.
He was making some amazing plays when he was dangerous. But other than that, I Seahawks with Marshawn Lynch. But before that, who was it? Maybe us with Jacobs and Bradshaw, but that was two people. With only one guy, the Cowboys with Emmitt Smith. That's the last people I could think of.
Nah. Terrell Davis and Elway.
Okay, Terrell Davis and Elway. That's still in the 90s.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Terrell Davis. Yeah, he was getting 2,000. He got 2,000 yards back to back when he got to the Super Bowl. So yeah, 97 and 98.
Beasting that guy was.
But that's still over 20 years ago, Lou.
Yeah. I was just thinking of the most recent though.
Yeah, you're right.
I ain't gonna give Dallas that. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying?
That's why with Big Blue Crew we can think about it, because even when Pittsburgh won the Super Bowl, it wasn't just Jerome Bettis that year. Jerome Bettis was at the end of his career. He was just running on.
He fumbled in the last 3 minutes too. He almost cost them the Super Bowl.
You can go back. You can go back to that second Broncos Super Bowl win with Terrell Davis, and you can look at the opposing side as well with the Dirty Bird there with Atlanta. That's probably the last running back Super Bowl.
With Jamal Anderson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You had both teams were very much running back oriented. I think with the quarterback was it Chris Chandler back then. I want to say was the quarterback for the Falcons.
Yeah, it was Chris Chandler. They really didn't have no offense.
You weren't worried about Chris Chandler. You were worried about stopping Jamal. You didn't want to see that dirty bird in the end zone. So you had Elway with his last game that Super Bowl was his last game, and then so it was obviously the very tail end of his career. You got Chris Chandler, who's also the tail end, but was never any good really to begin with. He was an average quarterback at best. That was a very running back driven Super Bowl, but that probably was the last one.
that I can think of, and the closest it's been to was with Derrick Henry the past couple of years with the Titans. That's
Oh
it.
yeah,
And
and
Derrick
what?
Henry, I'm sorry, is a better running back than Saquon if you want to just go by straight running back. He's never hurt, and the dude carries like crazy.
The initial offer was presented because Barkley was productive the first half of the season. It became the DJ show after the bye, and he delivered. DJ became the main focus at the end of the season. Simple.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley did come on in that Vikings game, though. I can't take that from him. That Vikings game, the playoffs, he played very well in that game, but it
Well,
was on
yeah,
limited. What's going on, Joe?
yeah, yeah, I'm good, but I let the East 3 go. I'll get my turn. Don't you worry about me.
Go ahead,
Don't
Joe.
you worry.
Right.
No. Tudo asked him, Joe, where are you, brother? You're silent, brother. Everything good?
Yeah, and Lou and the other guy, they were just going at it. I tried to get butt, and nope. And then Pat jumped in, and so I got, yeah, okay.
Go ahead, Joe.
You got the floor, man.
No, I don't. I got nothing. Lou knows why.
That mannequin, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, the mannequin. Just give me the man. I went and did the mannequin, and life's good.
Well, one thing for sure, if Saquon Barkley holds out and doesn't play this season, which
Agreed.
I think that's a 0.1% chance that he does, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. But let's not act like this team is just gonna go 2-15 without Saquon Barkley this year. I don't believe that.
Maybe 9-8, but not 2-15.
Somewhere around there, probably might still make the playoffs. Who knows? But let's not act like we just dead if Saquon Barkley doesn't play.
New York Giants 11-6 next season, and we say forget about it. You're damn right.
You want to know something about Saquon? If he takes the size of the contract, great. If he holds out, screw him. Let him walk. Good. That's it. I give you my last offer. It's a damn good offer. 3 years, 19 guaranteed. That right now, that's really good money for a running back.
Yeah.
But
I think if he doesn't sign a long-term contract, I think you'll see him week 1, but you won't see him before that.
Matt, what's going on, Matty B? Soul Brother number 1, what's going on? Thank you for stopping by. Please hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button, and make sure to leave a comment. Show looks nice, Louis. Really, Matt? Appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you because you nice with this shit. Straight up, Joe. 100%. He agrees with you. Big Dash, what's going on?
Yeah, Joe, it's sad to say it like that, though, Joe, because it is Saquon.
It is.
And let's be honest, he has been the face the past 5 years for this franchise. Him and DJ.
But it is what it is. He's got a damn good offer on the table. He basically helps his fellows out. What more can he do? Be a top dog at everything? Pay him $20 million? Come on. I know there's people who in their heart, they go, yeah, Joel, why not classified? But come on, this is a team. We were built around this team. And we got good players. If Barkley walks, then we get 13, well, whatever they has in store for him and get another running back. This would be might be just as good in certain areas, pass blocking perhaps.
Jay Lay. What up, Dash?
And it's just a tough situation, man, because of the position he plays.
Mhm.
If Barkley was a receiver, he would have been paid because the receivers are getting paid right now. But running backs, man, sorry to say, man, that's the position they chose to run the well dry because tight ends are getting more money now. Running back is
Kickers.
probably, huh?
Kickers are getting paid more almost at this point. It's getting that
Yeah.
bad.
A damn kicker is making what, about $2 million less than what a top running back is right now.
It's
And
not far off.
is it fair? No, but it's just it's the business, man. It's
It'll
business.
come back
Bro.
around to where the running back, it always does, man. It always goes through this phase.
Right.
Trust me. The running back in 12, 15 years are back up there, you know. There's just this is a type of football that people love. High scoring, high flying, wheeling, dealing, touchdown. We got the ball back, touchdown. You know, people want to do that. That's their choice. But
You want
even though makers makers of the team, the presidents of the
Eric
team
Johnson.
wanted that way. What? Oh, you're.
Huh? I was saying what's up to Eric Johnson. That was all.
Yeah, go ahead.
to know the ironic thing? Is that people kill me, Joe, and Lou,
Okay,
and
Jay.
people like us that like a little old school football, talking about running the ball and everything. But now everybody's up in arms because Saquon Barkley is not getting what he wants, a running back. That's the ironic thing.
Yeah.
I thought y'all said y'all wanted to be like the Bills and everybody. You know the Bills and them don't have running backs like that. They can care less. We for to air this thing out. Now all of a sudden, it's just something that you want to complain about this franchise, and it's
Oh
sad.
man, Giants fans always want to complain about
Oh
something.
yeah.
If we winning, we'll complain that we ain't winning enough, or we ain't winning pretty enough, or we didn't put
Yeah.
up enough points in the win, or something.
Right. We win 23 to 20. Oh man, we can never score 30 points, man. Get out of here.
I
Like,
think it'd be
man.
kind of interesting what would have happened if we let Saquon, you know, go like the route the Ravens did with Lamar and give him the chance to go out and see what options and what offers he would have gotten. I think he might have signed by now, to be honest, if that
Well, they
happened.
did. That's why they gave him the non-exclusive franchise tag.
Mm-hmm. And nobody bit because nobody's going to give him the money that he was asking for. It's already been reported. When teams found out what Saquon Barkley was asking for, everybody pulled out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody wants to pay it. Nobody. It's not just us.
The only leverage Saquon Barkley has in this situation is that this organization loves him. That's it. And they're giving him that type of money. We're trying to because of the respect they got for Saquon Barkley. It's not disrespect. How is it disrespectful where every other top running back didn't make over $10 million? And the only people that made $10 million was the people that got the franchise tag. Because if you didn't, the top running back made what, $8 million, $7 million, was $6 million a year? And Sanders?
Yeah, 4 years, 25.4 million it was. So
yeah, that's 6.5, 6.3 or $6.25 million a year. And you mean to tell me they're offering Saquon pretty much $13 million a year? That's more than double.
Yeah. And Sanders still had 1,200 yards last season. It wasn't like he barely hit 1,000 or anything. He still had a 1,200-yard season.
I'll say that's respect. That's like, hey, look, you mean this much to this franchise. We're going to give you double what the market said. Like I said, everybody was killing me on Twitter when I said the Giants were doing him a solid. Cuz that's a solid. Somebody that had almost the exact same production as you and was on a team that went to the Super Bowl only got offered half of what the Giants are offering you. That's the way you got to look at it, man. That's the way Joe Shannon and them looking. Look, bro, we don't have to offer you this $13 or $14 million a year. We doing this because we love you. But if you want to continue to play hardball and try to get as close to $30 million guaranteed as you got, or the amount of guarantee, I think Lou is right, because he's coming off a contract that gave him $32 million guaranteed because he was the number 2 draft pick in that year. Mm-hmm. And he wants to get that because he feels some type of way if he gets less than what he got as his rookie deal. I think that's playing a major part into it too. I think Lou is exactly right on that.
Cause he looking at it like I was at 32 mil as a rookie. Now I'm better. I know the game. I this and that. You know what I'm saying? I've proven what I can do. How you gonna come at me with 13? Are you crazy? That's probably how he looking at it. Like, are you dumb?
So the most guaranteed money running back wise, here's your countdown of who's got the most. McCaffrey at 38, Kamara at 33, Henry at 25, Robinson, that's purely because of base of where he got drafted at that point, 22, Chubb at 20. That's the only people that'd be above Saquon if it was 19 and change.
And those 3 top deals were deals that were done like 2 or 3 years ago when the running back market was up because of those deals that McCaffrey and them got. Now the running back market is dry, and if Saquon wants to blame anybody, you blame Todd Gurley, you blame Ezekiel Elliott, you blame Christian McCaffrey, you blame Alvin Kamara, and you really can't blame my boy from the Titans, King Henry, and Le'Veon Bell. You blame those 5 names right there that got those contracts and didn't do shit when they got them for their respective teams. Now, Christian McCaffrey went over to the 49ers. That's because they had stacked-ass team. And he went over there and did a little something. He was finally healthy this year.
It's also because they didn't have to pay McCaffrey because that guaranteed money and that signing bonus there all got paid by the Panthers. So that really helped them. They really haven't. If you look at his contract, they haven't really paid McCaffrey much of anything. Next year, if they keep him, and it sounds weird to say that just after they traded for him, that's when all of a sudden he gets paid money. So, as of right now, his cap number is like nothing. It's like $3 million and change for the 49ers this year. Next year, it goes to $14 million, and they can actually save almost $6 million by cutting him.
Right, and then the year after that, I think his contract is up, right?
No, so he's got 14, one more year of $14 million and change, and they can save about $8 million by cutting him. And then there's a void year for 26 and 27, it looks like, on that. So,
and they're going to get out of those void years.
They might cut him that last year, even if he's doing good, just to avoid having all that void year and extra money on there for a couple of years. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think people are losing track when they talk about McCaffrey. Oh, McCaffrey's a success because here he is doing well in San Francisco on this contract. If he was such a success in this contract, Carolina would have kept him. It wasn't just the picks. They didn't want to pay him as much as they were paying him. So they figured they'd get out of half of it by now just having to pay the signing bonus, having that contract off their books. And the Niners haven't had to pay him. So it's not a big deal for them. And they can get out of it next year. And if you paid him, so according, I'm on over the cap right now, by the way. That's where I'm getting these numbers from. They had a cap number for him last year of $700,000, and then 3.4 this year. So
and then because the Super Bowl window is these next 2 years.
Yeah. So they can cut him and still say, okay, we lost at that point. Let's say because they're going to lose $8 million and change in dead cap, but they got him so cheap the past 2 years it doesn't matter. So, like I said, that's that McCaffrey deal is not as rich as it looks like on paper, at least for the Niners' perspective.
And that's the only reason why the 49ers traded for him, because they won't pay him much in these next 2 years, and that's their Super Bowl window. That's what they see.
Exactly. Hopefully they have a quarterback for their sake, but
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Well, I mean, you look at both perspectives. I mean, either way is. Like I said, I personally, I've said all along this. I think the Giants want him to play in the tag. I really do. I think they want to play him on the tag, revisit this whole thing next year, and if he gets hurt, they can go, okay, good, we made the right move. If he doesn't get hurt, they can revisit it, give him a second option for a contract, probably very similar to what they offered him this year. And if not, just tag him a second time. I think the Giants have no problem double tagging him, basically.
I don't think they have a problem either, because if he balls out this year and starts talking, well, I want $20 million now. Well, here's the tag again. We'll go through it
12,
again.
enjoy.
It is messed up. It's not fair, but damn, man.
Listen, Joe Shane doesn't care. He cares what's best for the Giants. That's all he cares about, as he should. So that's exactly what they're going to say. They're going to say, congratulations on your great year. Enjoy your $12 million.
That's exactly what they're going to do.
And like I said, I really do think, and I've said it from the get-go, I think that a lot of these numbers you're hearing about, supposedly like $14 million and that kind of numbers being thrown out there that he was offered per year, I still think the Giants are the ones who leaked that information. And I think that was 100% done to get the fans on their side. So that way, when this thing falls apart, like I do think it's probably going to, they can go, oh, we tried. You saw we gave him $14 million. You probably heard that report, right? I don't know where it came from, but we tried. We tried as best we could. He wanted too much money. They want to make him the villain in this whole thing. They really do. It's pretty obvious to me, at least.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Lou this question.
All right.
Based on what you said, goofball. Do you really think that they want to keep a major running back on this team, considering the way Dabo ran his offense with the Bills?
To be honest with you, I don't think it was his intention, but I think that they ended up liking Barkley, and they were willing to make certain concessions to try to keep him. But I think at this point, they think he's being too disagreeable in negotiations, and they might fall apart. I'm hoping that it doesn't, but I think that wasn't his intention because of the way he runs his style. But he ended up liking Barkley, and Shane and Mara like him, so he was willing to, make some concessions to make it work.
And I think the other thing that many people see but not saying is, I think they like him paired with Daniel Jones as well. I think they like those two paired together. Because for some reason, I think they do. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think they do feed off each other. When they're in the game together, they do feed off each other. Somehow, some way, they feed off each other. When one is not doing well, the other one steps up. When Barkley's not doing well, Daniel Jones steps up. When Daniel Jones is not playing like himself, Barkley steps up. And I think they like that dynamic with them. But there's certain concessions that they're not willing to go with Barkley, only because of the position. It doesn't make business sense to do that with the position. Exactly. And they'll say, we'll roll the dice with Daniel Jones, get him a running back by committee, and let him be dynamic the way they're training him to be. Like they got this dude really trained to be dynamic, and he can do it. In all honesty, he can do it. He can make up for some deficiencies in the running game. He showed it last year when Barkley only had he only had like 300 yards like the last 7 games or something like that. Daniel Jones amped it up in the running game. So I think they love the kid, but they're not willing to take it with no grease with Saquon Barkley.
Here's a good one for you guys here, as you mentioned that, because I agree with you 100%, by the way. So we were talking a minute ago about doing potential double tag on Saquon Barkley.
All right,
think about the
give me
significance
5
here.
minutes.
Thinking about the significance in 2025. 2025 is the first year that if Jones doesn't step up, that we can get out of the deal. That'd be the first year after those 2 years. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to say, listen, have Saquon for a couple of years. I think they're going to say, have Saquon for a couple of years. And at this point, you got to go ahead and do your thing, man, because we're paying you top dollar. And I think you have 2 years for Daniel Jones to succeed and prove he can succeed. And they're going to keep Saquon around for those 2 years to give him every chance to do it. And at that point, he's probably gone.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't want to interrupt nobody. I know I just popped on.
Are you good, man?
Hey there, everybody. What's up? You know, Lou. What's up, Pat? What's up, Jay? But y'all know me, man. I mean, you can see it. I mean, please, Saquon, come on, man. Y'all just get this shit together. I mean,
God, those plates are great.
I think we could be just as competitive as we was last year with our new weapons and our upgraded defense and offensive line. I think we could do just as well. But if we want to win the NFC East, at least, if we want to, you know, not get swept by the Cowboys and put up a game maybe against the Eagles, we gotta have 26 back there, man. That he'll draw so much off.
JC Warbound.
I'm hoping that last minute, man, he signs because I mean he's gonna play, right? Like he's not gonna sit out like Le'Veon. We can all see that was stupid. We saw that. He's not a stupid young man. At least I hope he's not that stupid. You're gonna play, but it's just you gotta pay the man. It's just a bad look on the organization, man. He did everything. He stopped himself from getting a touchdown. He fought back. He was the only reason we had to talk about anything at one point. You got to pay this man. I don't give a fuck who you got to pay from.
Is that a Rob Carpenter jersey behind you by any chance?
No, I got it. That's Tiki.
I'm just messing with you. I was trying to think of a prior 26. I was trying to think of another 26 we had besides.
Nah, man. I was supposed to have a Jeremy Shockey jersey in the mail, but UPS is not the best, and so I never got it, and so I just got my money back, and that went on something else because
I think what happened is it was next to another package with a picture of Tom Coughlin, and the two packages started fighting nonstop.
Man, it was
things
a Mitchell
ensued on the FedEx truck there.
Man,
that's a damn good question, D-Dan. I think it does suffer a little bit without Saquon Barkley.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. We're not as good a team without Saquon Barkley. We're not as good as we could be without at this moment. Not in, you know what I'm saying, just in
I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Say it.
11-6 Giants NFC East Division champions, NFC Conference champions, Super Bowl motherfucking champions, 2023 season, 2024 Super Bowl. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I really hope we get something done. If not, I mean, the Giants will be the Giants, and we're gonna continue to grow. It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt. It's not gonna be fun. It's a sour taste, but we'll live.
He ain't going anywhere. Don't you worry,
man.
It's tag our long-term contract. The Giants hold all the cards, man.
Hey, Bookends, that's true too. Everybody was thinking the same when we lost Tiki Barber and we went on to win the Super Bowl the next year. That's messed up.
Oh my God.
We did because Tiki Barber was doing exactly what Saquon was doing.
Yeah,
but no, this year we're going to keep Barkley and we're going to win the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs just to shut that ugly clown up, Kadarius Toney.
Oh my gosh.
He's like,
you got the nerve to talk shit.
Hold
on.
Oh,
you got the nerve to talk shit about Brian Dable's playbook and the offense But Kafka helped design that playbook for Daniel Jones, and Kafka is the one who helped design the Kansas City Chiefs passing offense. So if you're talking shit about Dable and Kafka's offense, you idiot, you're talking shit about your own offense.
He got hacked. You didn't hear? He got hacked. It's very believable. Very believable.
He's a
very
gnat.
believable.
He's a gnat with chicken tenders for hamstrings.
Oh my god. Man, it's more hamstrings than anybody else in the world.
Yeah. I'm not even worried. It's really like he's just some disgruntled employee that's just like, we're not even thinking about you. You shouldn't be thinking about the job. Like
he's the ex-girlfriend that won't go away.
Exactly. Like what Giants fans, we were all, I mean, at least me, myself personally, I wanted him to play. I was wondering why he wasn't playing. Like, don't take it out on the Giants because whatever happened with you and the GM, don't talk about the fans, because we was wanting you to be on the field. At least I was.
Hold on, fellas. I
But
got
fuck
one
you
thing
now.
to say. Hold on, J-Lay. I got one thing to say to Kadarius Toney. Keep my team's name out your fucking mouth. That's all.
This statement was brought to you by Big Blue Krew and G-Nation Sports Live.
The opinions expressed do not necessarily have that of YouTube or Google.
Batteries not included.
Batteries
not included, and all other parts sold separately.
21 and
I'll be honest with you. I don't even give him the satisfaction to even mention it.
He's not.
He's not all the way there. You just won a Super Bowl. Why are you worried about the Giants? Like,
why would you even be thinking about? I would be.
You did that when he was going to the jewelry place to get his ring size. Like, why are you thinking about the Giants when you're getting your Super Bowl ring sized?
He had to do because he did something on punt return to impact the game. Like he didn't. He's not. He wasn't really a
super disappointment in New York because his dyslexic, illiterate self couldn't grasp the playbook.
Didn't he have like? Didn't he get like
he gets merged mixed up?
Didn't he get like a New York tattoo on his back?
His whole back with his 89 number and everything, dude.
Yeah,
that's why he's mad.
I'm telling you, he beats backwards. He gets merged mixed up.
He's the crazy ex-girlfriend. He's the crazy ex-girlfriend, the tattoo and everything, man. Crazy ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, he's. Anyways, Saquon Barkley, he's going to be a Giant, man. This defense is going to be top 5 in the league next year.
Jarius
and Daniel Jones. And remember, I've been saying this. I've heard a couple other people talk about Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is going to throw for 30 touchdowns. He's going to throw 30 touchdowns this year.
Hold on, Jay. What you say, Joe?
Nothing. Continue.
You say he's going to throw for how many touchdowns, Jay?
30.
30.
And he's going
to run for 6.
Run for. I was going to say 5, but run for 5 or 6.
I'll take it.
If Saquon Barkley plays, I don't think he reaches 30 touchdowns.
You don't think total?
I don't think he reaches 30 touchdowns total because the way this team is built, especially if Saquon Barkley is playing. I think he gets over 20 touchdowns passing this year. I say around 22 to 23, maybe about 4 or 5 touchdowns rushing, which would be dynamite because I think Saquon Barkley, if he plays this year, he's going to get at least 10 more touchdowns this year and run for about 1,200 to 1,300 yards again. And it won't be as because I believe he's going to get easy yards this year.
Yep.
Because the offense is going to be spread open, and you hand him that ball on the draw with the defense spread out that way. All he got to do is make one person miss, and that's like 15, 20 yards. He might get like 1,200 yards on like 210 carries or something like that.
Here's a take. If Saquon Barkley does play, I believe that Darren Waller will be more of a focal point than Saquon Barkley.
Yep. When it comes to the passing game, I think Darren Waller will get his, and everybody else will fill in, and Saquon Barkley will get his.
Yep.
I think that's how it would go because
that's why I think that he's going to get to that 30 because I think in the red zone we was already the top 5 percentage in the league of red zone efficiency. So you add a 6'6" tight end named Darren Waller that has hands and doesn't really drop the ball. I think he can go from, getting an extra, from 25 touchdowns to get to 30, or from 20 to get to, throw for 27, 28 and rush for 5.
But remember, he was only at 15. So let's just say Waller does turn out to be what he's supposed to be. You still gonna give Saquon Barkley the ball when it comes to the goal line. I'm sorry, you are. That's the way you do it. That's how they were efficient.
Yeah.
We ran the ball like when we were supposed to.
Yeah.
Got in the end zone, or we were doing like quarterback runs on the end zone and things like that. They weren't trying to be flashy last year, and I think they keep that. And it'd be even better. Maybe Saquon gets like 13, 14 touchdowns this year now because the offensive line is blocking better. So if they're bullying people in the run game, which they were last year, and then we just added John Michael Schmitz and Bredesen, and those guys are healthy, and Evan Neal gets better, I'm bullying you in the end zone. Who's gonna stop us from running the ball into the end zone when you got that horse and Daniel Jones back there and Saquon Barkley? You can see them do a whole lot more wildcat when it get to like the yard line, because Wan'Dale Robinson, Campbell, and Saquon Barkley can do that. You can put Breida back there and do that. Yeah. And you put Bellinger as an extra tight end in the block.
I was just about to say that you have Bellinger out there, and and even if they do say, because the NFC East alone, they do have stacked defense. All of us have stacked defensive linemen, from the Commanders to the Cowboys to us to the Eagles. We all have a great defensive line. So even if Saquon Barkley and all of that, they get stuffed, and it's third down, they got Bellinger and Waller to both throw to. Bellinger, he's a blocking tight end, but his hands are as sure as anybody else's. And Waller is Waller. Either way, I don't care. Yeah, because both of the scenarios are going to be great for the Giants. So that's why we need Saquon, because if we don't have Saquon, we don't have that sure, third and short, on the goal line. We don't have that sure. He's gonna jump over the top of the line and he's not gonna bully his way, if we don't have Saquon. We'll have Matt Breida, who's not pushing anybody over, in a rookie.
In all fairness, though, 3rd and 1, that was not Saquon's job last year. That was Daniel Jones.
No, yeah, it was. But I'm just saying, if you don't have that, that bullet in the chamber that is Saquon Barkley, it's going to hurt your offense. If only a little bit, it's going to take a dynamic out of your offense. You're not going to have.
Oh no, I'll agree with that 100%. I'm saying DJ was the short yardage back all season long. All season long. You do that 4th and 1, the 3rd and 1. You are not giving it to Saquon. You were giving it to DJ. Let him run it up the gut.
Yep.
I think so too, Bookend. We do have a good 1-2 tight end combo.
Yeah, Bellinger and Darren Waller, man. And the longer we can keep them two together, whether it's 2 years or 3 years, or they re-sign 4, whoever, it's gonna help out Bellinger in the long run. It's gonna, he's gonna be able to come up, because whether people like Darren Waller or say he's injury prone because of his hamstrings or what, when healthy, he's a top 3 tight end in the league.
Yeah.
Even the last 2 years during his injury years, when he was healthy, he was still very good.
Yeah, people like to put Kittle above him, but I don't even think. Kittle's a better blocker than him. Yeah, so good, a better all-around tight end. But as far as putting points on the board, I'm rocking the Waller.
The heavyweight champion of the world. Woo! Saquon Barkley or not, we're going 12-5. NFC Championship. That's the bottom line. Can't wait to roll with the Big Blue Crew during the season and put in another year of doing well with the ladies. Woo!
I think this year is just going to be very exciting, because we can attack you in many different ways this year.
Oh, yes.
And I don't think it's going to be on stats like how Josh Allen is based on stats over there with the Buffalo Bills, because they put everything in Josh Allen's hands.
Yeah.
As far as he was a top runner, and they were passing it all over the yard.
And he was
this team is not
built
like that. Huh?
And he was throwing interceptions all over the yard too.
Yeah. And I think they want to keep that down here with New York. I think they're building a more I'm not gonna say conservative, but they're building a more smart offense over here.
Well-rounded. Well-rounded.
Yeah,
is
well,
what I like to say.
Yep. And I'll say this too: we're talking about Waller helping put points on the board. I can pretty much guarantee you, Bellinger will have more touchdowns than Waller.
Because everybody.
Yep, I think so too.
No, because if you look at Waller's numbers, the weird thing is Waller doesn't put up a ton of touchdowns. For his career, he does not. He had 1 year, 2020, when he had 9. Other than that, he got like 2 or 3 a year, and that's it. Bellinger will be the tight end if you look at the end zone.
Hey, as long as they're wearing blue and it says NY or Giants on their helmet, I'm all with it.
Exactly.
Because that's true too, Jarius. I think Hyatt and Slayton are gonna get a lot of those passes down the field when you're trying to cover up our inside game. Pause with Hodgins and Waller and people like Wan'Dale Robinson when he gets off pup and Campbell, and then you're gonna leave Hyatt one-on-one and he gets past that guy. They're gonna say Daniel Jones, if he gets past him, throw that ball. If he's even, he's throw that ball out there. And let's see if he can come up with it and get us a big play right here. So, yeah, I truly believe that too, Jarius.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of people shocked this year when the Giants come out and look like a team that's been put together for a while.
Right. And Lou, another thing is going to make teams be more honest and be a little bit on their toes because they don't know really what's coming. Last year, you knew what was coming. And if you had the ability to stop it, you had a good chance of beating us last year. But now this year, now you have to worry about the run game and the passing game. You're not just going to be able to sit in the cover 2 and look at Daniel Jones the whole game because you're going to get murdered. Because Waller against, man, I'm telling you, man, when they put it all together, it's going to look very, very, very scary for teams out here. If that offensive line could just be a top 20 offensive line, it's going to be a problem.
You know what I love too is we're talking about, what we're hoping and got hopes for this season. Isn't it just great? Let's let that soak in for a second. Isn't it great as a Giant fan to feel like we have optimism in the offseason for the first time in how long? That we're going, this is going the right direction. Everything's going good. Like we have something to show that it should be going good as well.
I was screaming 11-6 last year.
I really never.
I was saying we was going to win when Joe Judge was damn coach.
I never felt it with Eli. I felt it more during the Sims era. You just had that notion that, oh my God, he's going to be a terror. Oh my God, he's going. What the hell? Who the hell's this little runt from Syracuse? You just had that feeling of our greatness, and now this feels like it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's my last one.
Stop talking like that, Joe.
Well, it is. It's going to be a long one, but.
Yeah, Coughlin might make it into the Hall of Fame this year, Eric Johnson. He has a good chance.
He should.
Who?
Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin is up for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, God, yes. You better make it first time.
Only thing that might come out is Dan Reeves because they might put him in there because he's no longer here. Rest in peace, Dan Reeves. They might put him in there over Coughlin.
If you look at Dan Reeves' resume, it's not nearly as good, though. I mean, obviously, besides the fact that he lost all 4 Super Bowls he went to, he had a sub-500 record with the Giants, sub-500 with the Falcons, even with that 1-14-2 season with the Falcons. In the end, his record is nowhere near as good as Coughlin. Coughlin has the track record not just with the Giants, but he has that introductory track record he had with the Jaguars as well. I mean, he's got a much better resume. Coughlin should be in. If you look at the only coaches that have won multiple Super Bowls not in the Hall of Fame right now, you got obviously Belichick and Andy Reid because they're both active. You got George Seifert and you got Mike Shanahan. That's the only 2 that are eligible that are not in right now, besides Tom Coughlin.
Yeah.
Coughlin should be in.
Yeah, Shanahan should get in there too.
You could make the case that George Seifert as well should. I mean, people kind of looked at like he rode the coattails of Bill Walsh, but he still got it done. And that second ring was 94, which I think was like 5 or 6 years after Bill Walsh retired. So how long do you keep giving Bill Walsh credit for it?
I agree with you, Warbound. Fact.
Yeah.
What's up, Deception? Thank you for putting everybody's link in the chat, bro.
Yeah, I think Tom Coughlin has a hell of a chance to get in there this year. That's the only way I see he not making it if they just be like put Dan Reeves in there.
You know, if Bill Parcells is in, Tom Coughlin should be right behind.
Yeah.
Both those guys brought 4 titles to this league. Damn it, you should respect both of them.
For sure.
Parcells is in, ain't he?
He is.
Yeah.
What? Parcells is in there.
What you ready to say? I know Parcells is in there.
I think.
Oh,
saying
yeah,
both of them
he
should be in
he's in there.
I think the big thing is if someone's going to sneak in that passed away, I actually don't think it'll be Dan Reeves. I think it's Marty Schottenheimer. I think he has the better resume, actually, even though he doesn't always get the hype for it. I mean, the man won in Cleveland. The man won in Washington. The man won in San Diego. He went to, besides the Kansas City Chiefs, he went to crud franchises and won every single place he went.
Hey,
Yeah.
I gotta take as far as Hall of Fame and all that. And I heard one of the I forgot who it was, but I heard this from one of like an older player. Who why are the qualifications so simple to get into? Like, I think the qualifications to be in the Hall of Fame, like, I think a lot of people just get in there, and no disrespect to the dead, or I don't even know who these people are, but just because you pass away.
There's 3.
You know, like I
Jim
think
Fossil should be
the stats should be there
in our list because remember he stand at the podium, he said, "Mark my words, we're gonna win." He's marching there to laugh, and
he said, "I'm putting all our chips in the middle of the table."
Yep,
That's what he said.
Yep.
But does that make him a Hall of Famer because he got it done one time, or did he win the Super Bowl?
No, he got
one.
Super Bowl.
That's the one we lost.
Well, that,
Super Bowl does not to be mentioned here.
Well,
Is
you
that-
know, at
is
one
that Hall
time,
of Fame?
hold
Is that
on,
fame?
hold on. The offensive coach was Tom Landry. The defensive coach was for Green Bay. Oh God, what's his name?
Right, Vince
Mike
Lombardi.
Yeah, he was Vince Lombardi was.
Vince
our
Lombardi was the
defensive-
OC, and Landry was the DC back
and
then.
our team coach was scum of God. I don't know, but those 2 guys. Oh man!
Yeah, those are Hall of Famers because they have their own respectable careers. He may be a great guy. He may have been very inspirational.
Yeah, Tom Landry was the last coach I know of that.
Yeah, you could be a great guy and a team player and a team
But
coach.
those teams aren't always winning. Back then, those teams were winning. Chuck Noll, he lasted until the 84, something like that. But when he was playing and winning, it was a lot. Everything's good. Sign him up. But hey, I'm sorry you didn't cut it. Chuck Noll.
I think the standard should be a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? A little bit. It shouldn't just be like, oh, well, you didn't get voted in for the past decade, so okay, yeah, now you can come in. Like, nah, if the stats aren't there, it's not there.
I mean, I think some of those guys that don't get in, they do deserve to get in. Like, let's look at like a guy like we're talking Giants here. Carl Banks. I mean, the guy made it to the 1980s All NFL team, but he's not in the Hall of Fame.
But doesn't he have 2 Super Bowls?
Yes.
Yeah.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Carl Banks. I'm saying it's what, but I'm not saying so he wasn't brought into this. He was not brought into the Hall of Fame yet.
And there's guys that haven't won a Super Bowl that are just, I guess, more popular that are in the Hall of Fame. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm saying. Like there should be some kind of standard. Like we all love Eli. I mean, Eli is is the best quarterback we've had. But if he loses one of those Super Bowls, they're already not trying. He's won 2 Super Bowls, went on the road, won every game, won MVP of both those Super Bowls, and there's still some people saying that he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
His ass better get in first.
I totally disagree with all of those people, but if he loses one of those Super Bowls, I mean, does he belong in the Hall of Fame?
If it was a spliff, we'd all be effed up.
Exactly. So. I mean, I'm trying to fill in time here, G.
Get that man his jacket.
Eli, let me put this: Eli will get in. He will not be first ballot.
I will be so pissed off.
He will not be first ballot. Prepare to be pissed off.
I think he should be first ballot. If you're a 2-time Super Bowl winner in the NFL and you're MVP of both of those, and you went on the went on the road and won all of your games.
Not only
and
that,
you beat the undefeated Patriots with
not only
Tom Brady and Randy Moss, you're first ballot, bro.
They're gonna look at his record though. His overall record is just at 500.
I don't care. He was 7th overall in passing yards out of every quarterback who has played. He was 8th overall in winning. Passing yards, 8th overall touchdowns thrown. He beat out John Elway in both those categories. John Elway's in.
John Elway was just more popular.
It's a different era, dude.
Yeah,
you got to consider that.
No, John Elway was more popular, and he played for the Broncos. And back then, the Broncos were the shit. The Giants have always been an underdog team.
Even John Elway's a drunk businessman.
Look at who was leading the league in passing yards and their numbers back then compared to Eli's time. It's a different era.
Yeah,
you have to look at how the people did against people in their specific era. And if you look at the people in that era, you're not going to say say that Peyton was not better. Peyton had the better record. You're going to look at Drew Brees, say he was better. You're going to look at Tom Brady, say he was better.
There's only a few quarquarterbaks that are above him, though. And on that top 10 list, all-time passing yards, he's in the top 10.
No, I don't. Listen, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is he won't get in first ballot because of that.
Yeah, that's what they're going to hold against him.
Exactly. He wasn't
top 10 in all-time passing yards and all-time touchdowns thrown.
We agree. You should be, but they're going to hoe him because he's a Giant and he's Peyton's little brother. But he has more rings.
I think they can't because his media presence after football is so strong that they're going to have to.
Because Arch is going to come in there and smack the shit out of somebody if they don't put his son in first ballot.
Here's a good one for you stat-wise. Let's look at the first 10 years of his career, okay? Eli Manning did 35,000 passing yards in the first 10 years. In that same time frame, Peyton did 40, Drew Brees did 45. And then you also have Brady getting all the rings. You have – so I'm saying – I'm not saying that he's not a Hall of Famer. He 100% is. He should be in the first ballot. I hate the first ballot is special and you have to hold it for specific players BS that every sport plays.
Right.
But he will fall victim to that. He'll probably get in second or third time.
Man, and that's weak. Because if you can go on the road, because I mean, of course, history is just going to look at the outline of boom.
All his fourth quarter comeback wins.
Oh my goodness, man! Oh my. To go on the road to play that 49ers team when he was getting mauled on and
NFC Championship game
and still
to play that freezing game against Brett Favre in Lombardi's field, man.
And then it's not like the Super Bowl was a cakewalk. It was just happened to be the greatest quarterback of all time and the most fucking winningest franchise ever. Was one of the best. The defense was crazy.
Greatest coach of all time. I mean,
my goodness, man! Like
Cinderella
and he
story.
Still went out
to be a first ballot Hall of Fame,
bro. Man. But hey, whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's early morning here in Italy and time for us to start our daily workouts routine. It's been an honor and privilege to hang out with everyone. God's blessing and grace, everyone. Tudo, have a
Take
good
care,
night, brother.
Trudeau.
Maybe Tudo.
People don't talk about it, but DJ RPO Fake is the best in the league, and now he has weapons who can get separation. These guys gonna get open.
Man, this season's gonna go one or two ways. We either gonna keep on going and get better and keep on shutting people up, or it's gonna be fucking. It's not gonna work, and it's gonna be terrible. There's no in between. I don't think there's no we just stay mid and trudge along. No, I think because with the weapons we got and the spots that we filled in on this team, we either gonna jump or it's not gonna work. That's just what I think.
That's another fact. Can't just look at the record. He was playing behind a trash O-line after 2011. Damn, what happened, Pat? Eli is a Hall of Famer. Plus, he never missed a game. He was also better than his brother in the playoffs. Peyton was better in the regular season.
I do love that comment, I gotta say, because I've said that forever. Peyton Manning, 9 one-and-dones in his career in the postseason. 9.
There he is.
There he is.
He was
I need you to see my face when I'm telling you these facts.
He was going to the luxury box. He was going to the luxury box there.
Bookend said he was better than his brother in the playoffs, and Peyton was better in the regular season.
Yep.
Road Warriors, don't forget it. Damn right.
I mean, I go back and watch that playoff or whenever I'm feeling sad or anything like that.
Right.
We just watch that shit and just be like, God damn, on the road.
What was it? Tampa Bay, then Dallas? No,
Tampa Bay, Dallas, Green Bay.
Then Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. All on the road.
Then
the second time, the first game was at home, and then we was on the road the rest.
Yeah, man, that's worth being a Giants fan and all that other BS that we had to deal with. Just that alone, I'm just happy because a lot of my friends that are Cowboys fans, you were a child when that happened. You don't remember that. I remember watching that.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the three amigos.
They're in there.
Right. The first run was better because of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. That was pretty easy. But the Cowboys and the Packers, those two games were pretty rough. And then the second run, we ran through the Falcons and the Packers. But that San Francisco game was ridiculous.
Bro.
Like when we won that game, I knew we had a chance to win that Super Bowl.
He was all his shoulder.
Yeah. when we won that game, I said, "There's no way they go against the Patriots
This way, heck, and shit. Mouthpiece over here.
He had that dumb look that he always have on his fucking face. When he got
like Daffy Duck when he got shot and his beak was back here.
I'll be honest with you. After the first 2 quarters, I was like, man, I don't think we're gonna be able to pull this one out because they beating the brakes out Eli out there. But he kept getting back up, and he kept when he threw that touchdown to Manningham, I was like, oh yeah, we win this game. We winning the Super Bowl.
That was back when they had what was it, Patrick Willis and all that, huh?
Yep, they had Willis, they had Bowman, they had Justin Smith, they had Alden Smith.
Oh.
Man, they had Carlos Rogers. They had those safeties. They had that whole
tight end. They had the tight end.
Is that the defensive guy?
Vernon
I like
Davis.
them Jerry, so I expect him to do real good this year.
I remember playing with Patrick Willis on Madden, bro.
Man, what? If he never retired early, he was going to the Hall of Fame too.
Oh yeah,
because him and Navarro Bowman were off the chain together, bro. Like that defense had Pro Bowlers almost at every single position, bro. That defense was ridiculous. I was like, how the hell are we going to? And when Vernon Davis got that first touchdown, I was like, oh, no. We're going to let these dudes put up points too?
But you know what? Our defense was damn near – our defense was better than theirs.
See, you know what I mean? I'm damn, I done had a couple drinks, y'all. You see, I ain't going to say it. Humanura. What the fuck is his name?
Yeah,
OC Humanura.
That guy.
Okay. I got you with the drink still.
No,
Okay.
Hey, I had a couple shots, man. My oldest, she turned 13 today, so I got not finally, but I have a teenager now. So yeah,
That's what's up.
Woo!
fucking awesome, guys. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, now the trouble starts.
Yeah. You know, yeah.
Buckle up your chin strap.
Yeah, that's all. I'm just trying. I talk to her every day. We have conversations every day.
But our defense played pretty doggone well in that San Francisco game too, because we were hitting Alex Smith all over the game
That's
too.
what I'm saying. Our defense was better than theirs that day.
You know what name always comes to mind when I think of that 2011 NFC Championship game? Kyle Williams.
Yep, he saved us.
Knocking the ball out of the special teams.
Every single time I think of that game, I think Kyle Williams.
Smacked it out of his hand.
Fumble, twice, I think, in that game?
Yeah, he saved us. I'll be honest with that 49ers
probably
defense.
Did. That's what I'm saying. Wasn't for that, we probably did win that game.
You know, that 49ers defense, man, listen.
Williams who knocked it out of his hand. Jerron Williams, I think.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Lou. If Kyle Williams doesn't play that game, we don't win that game.
Probably not.
That 49ers defense played that damn good that game. Because remember, the touchdown to Manningham came off that fumble that went off his knee.
Right.
And we were put in position to score.
On the kickoff return. But if ifs and spliffs was blunts and drinks, we'd all be jacked up in this month.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's an interesting
I am
what
anyway.
It doesn't come down to fumbles on, it's almost like the game against Seattle this year was like a minor revenge for the luck we had in that game, though. But I mean, here's another level to that as well. Ted Ginn was on that team and was injured and couldn't play. Ted Ginn would not have fumbled the ball twice.
No.
And I'm telling you, that first fumble is what gave me hope in that game, because I said, man, we punting this ball again. All they got to do is run out the clock. And he fumbled that ball. I was like, holy shit.
Especially if Eli overtime.
And I said, you gonna give Eli a chance? I said, okay, Eli, pull it through. He threw that, and it was a 3rd and 14. Think about that. That was a 3rd and 14. That defense gave up that fumble, and they turned around and stonewalled us again. But some miracle, Eli stood in there, threw that ball to Manningham in the pocket, and he scored. I was like, man, it's meant for us to win.
Amazing.
So I remember I was watching that game with a friend of mine, and you see Eli on the sideline. Eli never shows the emotion or anything like that. And all of a sudden, I turned to him and did the whole Jim Carrey. So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah,
right, right. I said, man, no, they did not just fumble this ball. I was like, oh, they just saved us.
I think I had 3 heart attacks and 2 strokes during that game.
Look, bro, like that game right there was no way we were going to win that game without those 2 fumbles.
Nope.
We couldn't move the ball, man. I'm telling you, that defense was ridiculous.
I still think Kyle Williams should have got the MVP trophy for that game.
He should have. He should have, because he played for us.
We had a shitty O-line. What was that? That was when we had that, our O-line.
No, our O-line wasn't shitty.
Our O-line was still good. That was the last year that was good, pretty much,
That was their last hoorah. That defense was just playing that damn good, bro.
That was a solid team.
And if they would have made it to the Super Bowl, I think they would have beat the Patriots too. Actually, I think they would have beat them worse than what we did.
Yeah, we beat them. The first one was 14-17 or 14.
And then we beat them, 21-17?
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I'm telling that 49ers defense, when they assembled that defense, they did a damn good job with that defense, bro. Like that team was like, it wasn't the greatest offensively, but with Frank Gore and Vernon Davis,
Alex
just
Smith.
Enough.
No,
yep, Alex Smith.
Frank Gore just retired, last year?
Right.
I think he's still playing somewhere in a European league or something, probably.
He's still a free agent.
Somewhere.
I haven't heard he's like is he boxing or wrestling now or something like that?
Yeah, and
he was boxing.
He was knocking motherfuckers out, wasn't he?
Didn't he get into a fight with Herschel Walker and something like that?
No, I think Frank Gore boxed somebody. I forgot what he lost. But Adrian Peterson tried to box. He got knocked out by Le'Veon Bell, I think.
Hey, man, I guess if the check big enough, man, I'll take an L. Shit.
Right.
Listen, it sometimes, yeah, you take the money. You take the
Man.
money.
But yeah, that team was great, man, and you gotta give props to Eli, man, because I think any other quarterback, man, they would have said, "Forget this, man. Y'all get me killed out here. Hand this ball off to Jacobs and let's get home, go home, cause this shit is." I mean, he was taking RKOs, rock bottoms.
Right. Didn't he get sacked? Wasn't it like 9 times or some shit like that? How many times did he get fucking sacked?
I think he got sacked, 7 times or 8 times in that game?
Yeah.
Like, he was getting killed. I'm like, oh my God, it was nothing we can do.
No.
It was like, height, get him. Height, get him.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Hey, I ain't gotta hold it. You do. Go ahead.
Right.
So Ray McDonald had 2.5 sacks. Patrick Willis had a sack. Justin Smith had a sack. Alden Smith had a sack, and Navario Bowman had half a sack. So you're talking, what, 6 sacks? Yeah.
6 sacks, yeah.
And now how many pressures? Good Lord.
Fucking double digits for sure.
Let's see. I don't have that on me, but 11 QB hits.
And that's being nice. That's being nice.
That's
and I'll tell you what else saved us in that game too. Victor Cruz in the first half. Victor Cruz was killing Carlos Rogers in the first half. So fast that Eli was able to get
talking shit about him.
Yep, he sure was, and he got ate up that game. I remember that.
Don't talk no shit, won't be no shit.
Man. Victor was salsa. He was Mr. Salsa.
But man, that game right there, that game was a joy to watch, but not a joy to watch because our defense was doing the same thing out there as well. So yeah, you got to give them props too. They didn't let the 49ers go crazy because the 49ers kept getting the ball right back. I'm like, sheesh.
So Cruz was 10 catches, 142 yards.
Yep. And I think he had like 6 of them or 7 of them in the first half for like 100.
Here's a crazy thing. So Eli only had 316 yards, only because it was an overtime game. You got 142 yards to Cruz, 52 to Bradshaw, 55 to Nix. So you got 250 of his 312 to 3 players.
Yep. That's how they was locking people up, man. If it wasn't for Victor, it was Victor Cruz or nothing in the first half.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Alex Smith had 196 passing yards that game. 3 sacked 3 times. I got to rewatch that game now. I'm getting memories here.
Man, I'm telling you, bro. That game right there, that was the most anxiety I had in that game. And I had lost when we punt that ball, that first time we punt that first Kyle Williams fumble. After that drive, I gave up. I was like, there's no way we could go full length of the field to get a touchdown. I said, there's no way. And then he fumbled. I was like, holy shit.
I still like the Green Bay game better, the first one, because of just watching Coughlin just like having a snot sickle come out of his left nostril. It was just, there was just something fun about that. I don't know.
Nah, that game, I love that game the way Plexico Burris undressed Al Harris in that game. I'm like, man, he abused Al Harris that whole game. And he was another one that was talking noise. I said, man, I've never seen somebody get abused like this.
11 catches, 151 yards Plexico had that game.
And it was like -10.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How cold it was. Like, imagine Lawrence Tynes trying to kick that ball, because anybody who's ever kicked a football before should know it. That thing gets like a rock. That's like exactly. That's like a brick with like cement around it and a second layer of bricks.
And then in that game, I knew we had a chance that whole game. I was pissed off when they took back that Ahmad Bradshaw touchdown run when he ran it up the middle for like 60 yards and they called it back. And I was like, damn it. Yeah, it is, Jarris. But I knew Brett Favre would do something for us, and his dumbass threw that pass. I was like, yes. When he threw that pass blindly to the left side, I said, please somebody be right there, pick it off. And it was Webster. I was like, thank you, dummy. You gonna throw that pass like that? Same thing he did when he was with the Vikings, throwing that pass against the Saints.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
The
was
big thing
dumb.
with that game though too was the fact that, like we talked about the weather being such an issue in that kind of game. That's when you got to go old school, smash mouth, running the ball too. And because it's not just a brick when you're kicking it, it's a brick when you're throwing it too. And Ryan Grant could not get it going for the Packers that game. Could not get it going. So, 13 rushes, 29 yards. They pretty much had no choice but to try to throw the ball. And you know what happens when Brett Favre tries to throw the ball?
Yeah, he'll throw you a couple. Brett Favre was dynamite, but he'll throw you a couple.
Pulls a Dak Prescott impersonation.
My sister, she's a Brett Favre fan, and she that boy used to go on the sideline and put on that mask, the little oxygen mask. You take a couple of these. She used to say, "Man, he's smoking crack. He got crack." Yeah. He'll take a couple tokes off that air mask and come back in and boom, 80-yard touchdown.
He would have played better if he just had one of those copper tone things for his wrist and his elbow and all that.
Right. I tell you what else, that second Packers game with Aaron Rodgers, he missed some throws in the beginning of that game. I was like, yeah, we should beat their ass. Because we was on one that game. But if they was on one, it would probably been like a 38-35 game. But Aaron Rodgers was missing throws. And then when OC stripped him right before he's going to throw that touchdown to Jennings, I was like, yes, sir. They going home. I was like, man, that came right on time because he's getting ready to throw a dime to Jennings and he stripped it from him. I was like, thank you. I don't know what our DB was doing right there. He got killed by that double move.
Well, y'all, I'm about to call it a wrap. I got to get up early in the morning. Thanks for having me on. Big Blue Crew. Everybody, see y'all next time.
All right, Jay.
See y'all, man.
Actually, I think it's time for me to mosey on out myself. Though I do got work in the morning myself. I got to be up in 5 hours, so probably should.
Yeah, I got to be up early too. I got to go in early.
It's a lot of fun being an adult, isn't it?
Yeah,
right.
Those Danny times to join the Giants. So believe, brothers.
All right, man. Take it easy, guys.
Good point. All right, Drew.
All right.
Take it easy, bro.
Have a good one, Drew.
Oh shit! The three amigos.
Yes.
It always seems to fall to us three.
Hey.
Huh?
I said, it always seems to come around to us three.
993.
Who is that? This is Brother Daryl, then I'm the other Brother Daryl. Who was that? Kim. Who was that? My brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl. Larry. Yeah, I'm Larry. This is my brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl. He did all the talking, no matter what. God, yeah, God, that was a good show. Bob Newhart back in '85. They owned it in.
Well, fellas.
Yeah.
Real quick, I've been really annoyed with all of Danny Dimes' disrespect on all these talk shows. I've been fighting all day on YouTube comment section. Yeah, don't waste your energy feeding into that dumb stuff, bro.
We know who's right and who's wrong. You know, it is what it is. So
I was called delusional all last year. And look what happened. You're delusional, man. Giants can't beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, people think they know football and don't. So, hey Pat, is that Paul Masson? I fucks with it.
Yeah, it is.
But anyways, let's prove the doubters wrong again. Damn right. Hey homies, when y'all going up top again? October, right? Yeah. October 29th for the Jets game.
Hey, Jarius, you might be close soon. I'm from North Carolina. I got to move to North Carolina. So we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, might see us pretty soon.
Hey.
Well, Lou,
But I live in North Carolina. Well, guess what? So am I, and so do I.
Yep.
I'm from the Bronx, and I live in NC, fam. But yeah, fellas, I can't stay on too late tonight. I got to be in extra early tomorrow. So I appreciate
Let me leave you a note.
Huh?
I was from Manchester, and if you ain't right, you ain't right. Damn, they were cold.
that's bad, man. That's bad. But fellas, I'm gonna go ahead
Yeah.
and hang it up, man.
Yeah. Yeah, let's finish this up.
All right, fellas. Make sure you subscribe to Classified 3F with Joel, Big Pat Sports Talk, and hit that subscribe button for me while you at it. But until next time, man, y'all already know what it is, man. The Big Blue
Peace.
Crew gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep bringing y'all this Giants content, this boxing content, UFC content, all your sports needs, man. Big Blue Crew Sports Network. Big Blue Crew Sports Network. Until next time.
Ain't no chatting, no liking, just action. All my just front like they tapping. You already know. Popping. Ain't no stopping me now, steady rocking. Watch them hate on me now, cause I'm locked in. Watch the hate on me now, cause I'm popping. I ain't stopping.
And the New York Giants are the Super Bowl champs.